Now, actress Tamzin Outhwaite has told her partner Tom, who's 20 years younger than her, that she would end their relationship if he decided that he wanted children. So Tamzin has 2 daughters of her own, and she says she definitely doesn't want any more children. And so they've got us thinking this morning, like, could you leave someone if they weren't on the same parenting page? And it's a conversation that you felt you needed to have quite early on. With Gary.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, free and single, I didn't think twice about it. But, you know, when you get older, I mean, I think I was about 37, 38 when I met Gary. And obviously I had a daughter, he had a daughter, but I'd always had it in my mind that I wanted to have one more child. So I think it was like date 2. And I didn't do it sort of really obviously, but you know when you're just chatting and getting to know somebody, and I was like, oh, so would you like more children? kind of thing. And he went, yeah, you know, I think I'd probably like one more. And then we got married and I was 40. And I remember saying, well, I'd like to... In fact, it was just before we got married, and I said I'd like to try, after we've got married, to have another... And he went, well, I don't know if I want another child. And I went, but you said... And he went, did I? And it was a bit of a kind of an awkward, you know, week or two where we had to kind of thrash it out with a few hardcore conversations. And in the end...
Gary, you can imagine that, can't you?
In the end, he sort of...
Let me refer to my notebook of the day.
Well, it was a bit like that. And in the end, I said, we'll let nature be the referee, i.e. I'm going to come off the pill, we'll just see what happens. Luckily, very luckily, I got pregnant. And, of course, now he is obsessed. He can't imagine Grace not being in his life, etc. But
if he said no on date 2, then what would you have done? Would you have not?
I would have probably just thought, well, OK, I'm not going to move forward with this.
You must have felt something about Gary after just one date, then, in order to even bring that up.
No, but when you...
Well,
you all know this, although... But, I mean, when you have children already and you meet somebody, it's different because you are thinking, is this somebody I want to introduce my children to?
Yeah.
If we are going to have a future together, I don't know. But if we are, you know, you look at them in a completely different way to when you're in your early 20s. Yeah. You know, you just think, oh, well, we'll see how it goes. But you haven't got time to waste when you're, you know, 38 and you want to have another child. So you kind of cut straight to the point.
I did the same with Eamon, yeah. We you know, because he had 3 children. I was 35 or 6 and definitely knew I wanted children and hoped I would have children one day. And I had the conversation very early on and just said, look, could you ever see yourself having... Because I could feel this connection, you know, and I said, could you ever see yourself with children? And he said, well, you know, if I'm honest, probably not, but why would I ever deny you that? And so from then I was like, OK, he's on board. And we didn't do it then for 6 or 7 years. I wasn't kind of saying tomorrow, but I know I would have. And it sounds very dramatic, doesn't it? I walk away. I'd have just gone, do you know what, it's been lovely.
Yeah,
but there's no point in pursuing this because I will probably hate you for it further down the line if we stayed together and then you actually in 3 years' time say, oh, no, I don't want children. So I think maybe, you know, it's just her having that conversation. I mean, headlines are always very dramatic, aren't they? But I think her having that conversation and telling him, I don't want them. And if you don't, that's fine. But at some point, if you do, I'm not going to change my mind. Anyway, interesting one, Tamzin. Thank you. It's given us a lot of thought today, something else to talk about on Loose Women.